Okay, this is a problem-solving lesson, which means that there are very few problems, but they take a little more work. We're just going to go through the first couple of pages together here on the video. Um, we'll talk about the strategy of problem solving, and we'll just kind of go through this, and we may get sidetracked here or there. But this is us learning how to problem solve, and the strategy they're focusing on is draw a diagram. So anywhere in the story, in the book, where they give you space to draw stuff out, you should use it. Use it right up. This says a group of friends, if you look at page 177, a group of friends go to a local fair. Jason spends $3.75. Let me go ahead and just write that down. Jason is spending $3.75. And Maya spends 3 times as much as Jason. So Maya spends 3 times as much. Okay, so Maya's spending 3 times what Jason spent, which is $3.75. We already kind of know where this is going. Tia spends $5.25 more than Maya, so this is a third person. Let's keep track of our people here. We've got Jason and Maya, and the third person is Tia. How does she spell her name? T-I-A. Well, that was easy. Spends $5.25 more than Maya. So we know how much Jason spends. We don't know how much Maya spends. We don't know how much Tia spends, but we can find out how much each of them spends by starting with what Jason spends and working up to it. Okay, so the question is, how much does Tia spend? All right, so we have to go from Jason to Maya, and then from Maya, oh, look what I did. Toot, 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 toot. There we go. Tia is our third person. There we go. So we're going to go from Jason to Maya, from Maya to Tia to solve our total, to answer the question, which is how much does Tia spend? How much does Tia spend? All right, so this is our overall question. That's what we're trying to figure out here. Okay, so read the problem. What do I need to find? I need to find blank. Well, I need to find how much Tia spends, okay, or how much she spent. What information do I need to use is the second block. I need to use the amount spent by Jason, number 1, to find the amount spent by Maya, number 2, and Tia at the fair. How will I use the information? I can draw a diagram to show how much each person spent, starting with Jason and working up towards through Maya to Tia. So I'm not sure exactly how to fill that out. We can discuss it in class, or you can fill it out just like I just said. We use the diagram, and I see the diagram over on the right-hand side of the page, the solve the problem diagram. We're going to use the diagram to figure out how much Tia spent at the fair. So the amount of money, I'm reading again under problem solving, the amount of money Maya and Tia spent depends on the amount Jason spends. Draw a diagram to compare the amounts without calculating. Then use the diagram to fill out the amount each person spends. Okay, so they have Jason here. Oh, I spelled Jason wrong. I spelled it a traditional way, and they spell it with a Y. Well, I'll just keep spelling it regular. Jason, this is how Jason is usually spelled. Okay, he spends, and they put a little box around it, $3.75. And then it says that Maya spends 3 times as much. So basically, they grab Maya, and they give her 3 boxes that look like Jason's box. Okay, so we would add 325 3 times, or 375 inside each one of these boxes. And because Maya spends 3 times as much as Jason. Okay, and then Tia spends $5.25 more than Maya. So we have to remember that Tia spends the same amount as Maya, which means that she spends 3 times Jason. Okay, but then she also spends another $5.25. Okay, now they put a box around this too, but I'm not sure we need to do it exactly like they did. Let's make the box bigger so we can tell, because it's a different amount. These amounts are all $3.75. Everything in one of these boxes is $3.75. Oops. Let's do it right. $3.75. Okay. So we have to do a little bit of math now, okay, to work these out. We've got $3.75 for Jason. Maya is 3 times $3.75. So Maya is 3 times $3.75. And Tia is 3 times $3.75 plus $5.25. And once we solve for this, we can find out what our total answer is, what Tia's total is. So $3.75 times 3, this is kind of what we did in our last lesson. We're multiplying using decimals. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 7 is 21, plus the 1 is 22. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. And then we have to count our decimals and put it back in. So 1025 makes sense. Okay, 3 times 3 is 9, and this is more than 3. It's 3.75, so $10.25 kind of makes sense. Now we're going to add this 525 on. And we line up our decimals for adding decimals. Okay, 525 plus 1025, this is actually one we can do on our head. 10 plus 5 is 15, and 25 cents plus 25 cents is 50 cents. So our answer should be $15.50. Hopefully that doesn't get out of your screen, and you should be able to fill in everything you need to on page 177. Okay, that's what problem solving should look like. You should fill your whole page up with the work that you're doing. You've got to show all of the work. You've just got to put it together. You're going to try another problem on 178, and it's going to be similar. Okay, it's going to take you the same kind of things. You have to answer the question, what do I need to find, what information do I need to use, and how will I use the information, and solve the problem. So it's talking about Julie's savings account. So let's just read it real quick. I'm going to set the problem up with you, but I'm probably not going to do it. I need you to go ahead and work through this problem on your own, but go with me to set it up. Julie's savings account has a balance of $57.85. So $57.85 is what's in Julie's savings account. And sometimes it's nice to write that down. In January. Okay, so this is in January. Now by March, her balance is 4 times as much as her January balance. So by March, it has increased 4 times. So 4 times as much by March. And between March and November, Julie deposits a total of $78.48. So by November, she adds another $78.45. So see what they're doing here. They're making us do a couple of steps. We have to go. We have an initial amount that we start off with. Okay, this is like number 1, and then we increase it 4 times. This is like number 2, and this is a multiplication problem. And then we add it right here. It's like step 3. We add a few more dollars on. So we have a beginning number. We multiply it. It increased 4 times. And then we add a little bit more. It says If she does not withdraw any money from her account, what should Julie's balance be in November? And the balance just means what should her total be. So the question is, what is Julie's balance? Yeah. What is Julie's balance in November? Okay, so you've got it set up the same way. You could actually do your charting similarly to the other page where you have January. Let's change our colors here. You have January, and you have sort of a box. You know, you have a number that you start with. Okay, and then by March, you have 4 times as much, so that would be 4 of these boxes. And you got to fill them in, and that's for March. By March, and then by November, she adds some more, but let's see. Let's try this. There we go. Make it so that it fits. Now I made it a circle because I want you to remember that this is her beginning balance. This is 4 times. This is what increases, 4 times increase. And then somehow between March and November she adds some more, and that's why I wrote a circle, because it's not a multiplication problem. So we start by, we have a beginning balance, we multiply that by 4, and then we add something. Okay, so you can see what's happening. She starts with 57.85. It increases 4 times. So really she starts with this number and then she adds 4 times to it, 4 times it to it. So you do kind of have to add this up. And then you add November, what the rest of the numbers, the 78.45, you add that on to November. Okay, so we'll let that be your good start. And when we talk about this again in class, it should make sense, because we are going to probably go over this in class on Tuesday. And so just be ready for it. And if you have it already filled out, great. Go ahead and talk to you later.